In this lecture, we'll see the multi-list concept. In the previous lectures, we have seen single linked list, circular linked list, and double linked list. As these data structures, if you look at it, these data structures are in the increasing complexity of maintaining the link. In single linked list, the link maintenance is very simple. In double linked list, the maintenance of a previous pointer need to be taken care. And in the circular linked list, we should take care of not falling into the loop. Where in case of multi-list, the name itself telling you that multi-list means it is list of lists. Means there are array of lists, or it's a complex network of lists. That is what we call multi-list. So this multi-list, if you look at in multi-linked list, each node can have any number of pointers. Okay, that means in the double linked list we have every node have 2 pointers, but in case of multi-list you can have any number of pointers. And multi-list is the process of embedding multiple linked lists into one data structure. That means it is more complex than the simple list. Simple list in the sense it may be a plain list, you can insert at begin or insert at end or insert at middle. But in case of multi-list, have the list of lists. In multi-linked list, each node has more than one pointer linked doubly, but these pointers point to a separate list. That means there will be an array of lists, and each and every slot may be linked to the different lists. This is what we call multi-linked list. For example, if you consider this diagram, you can look at here. Here there is a diagram like this. It is a node consisting of a particular string, and this node have linked to some subnodes here or sublist here, and another slot in the same node points to another sublist, and in the sublist there may be a node which may be pointing to some other sublist. Like that, it's a complex kind of structure, if you can see. So like this, again in the sublist there may be some other node. It may be pointing to some other subnodes. So this is the way how the complex structure will be built. This is a kind of a multi-list. For example, suppose we want to make a list of departments of a university, such as example computer science, CSE, ECE, IT, management, etc. Each department run on various streams like BTech and MTech. Each stream has multiple number of semesters, such as BTech has 8 semesters and MTech has 4 semesters. And each semester has there are number of courses. If you want to represent this in a linked list form, then the linked list form will become a multi-list. So the example is like this here. There may be a department like CSE, it offers BTech, and it may also offer MTech. And in BTech again, there are semesters like first semester, second semester, third semester, fourth semester. And in the first semester again, you may having courses like C 1.1, 1.2, like that. So like this, arranging of all these structures that represents the multi-list concept. You can also represent that in terms of structure. The structure course have the name, and it has pointing to the some other courses, which is called self-referential. And these courses may be having internally the semesters, streams, and departments. So department is having department name, and each department is having a self-referential structure called department, and a stream that is maintained, that is either BTech stream or MTech stream. And each stream may be again having some semesters, and each semester may be having courses, and courses having course name, and again having a self-referential structure. So this is the way how complex the structure you can look at here. That is, which this particular structure is taking the another structure as a data member. Thereby, if you build or if you develop or if you allot memory for this entire structure, it will become a complex structure. And thereby, you can add any number of structures like this. That is, a node kind of structure can be added to this. Thereby, it will form multi-list. So here a program was given how to create the multi-list thing, and here to display the courses, you can directly copy this code and you can run this code so that you can realize how this multi-list will be formed like this. But however, since the memory was logical, you cannot realize that. Anyhow, by proper way of printing the output, you can get it. So that is the reason you may copy this code and you can run this in code blocks and use a main method so that you can realize the output of this particular code. Next example is sparse matrix. For all you people of computer science and electronics students, this sparse matrix is mostly used in many of the research areas. This sparse matrix means the name itself telling you that sparse. Dense means it's dense means many number of values will be there in the matrix. Sparse means very little, very few values will be there, which are useful for us for manipulations or calculations. So here sparse matrix is there. The sparse matrix is a matrix with in which maximum elements contains zero values. That means that the values are that much not required for computation. Only very few values are important for computation. If almost all elements contains 0 in array of 1000 by 1000 elements, then we can store only non-zero elements in the linked list format with their rows and columns. For example, if I might have declared an array of size, a matrix of size 1000 by 1000, that means 1000 into 1000, 1000 thousands. How much it is? 1 lakh. So 1000 is 1 lakh or 10 lakhs. So it is around 10 lakhs. So 10 lakhs, 10 lakh elements need to be stored. Say for example, if I might have declared an integer, an array of 1000 by 1000, and it is of integer type. Assume that your compiler is giving the size of integer as 4 bytes, then 4 bytes into 1000 by 1000. That means 4 into 10 lakhs, that is 40 lakh bytes are allocated for this particular data structure. Assume that among this 1000 by 1000 matrix, in this entire 1000 by 1000 matrix, only 100 elements are non-zero elements, remaining are of zero elements. Then that particular 40 lakh bytes are of no use, because we want only the values of 100 elements which are non-zero elements. Remaining, we know that the remaining are of zero elements. Only we require non-zero elements for our computation. That means 100 into 4, 400 bytes is sufficient, but we are going to allocate 40 lakh bytes, right? I will tell you another example. For example, you consider image processing. In the image processing, consider a black and white image. In the black and white image, consider a black and white image of 1000 by 1000 pixels. In that 1000 by 1000 pixels, only 100 pixels are in black color. Remaining all pixels are in white color. Whenever you go for image processing, you will read pixel by pixel. That means every pixel you will read, and you will observe the RGB, red, green, blue value of every pixel. Whenever you find RGB as some value, then you can say that it is white color, and RGB as all one, then you can consider that it is in black color. Assume the 1000 by 1000 image in which only 100 pixels are in black color, remaining all are in white color. That means that the 1000 pixels, if you convert into matrix, then first pixel is of 0, that means maybe white. but only 100 pixels are there which are in black color. That means that entire for entire 1000 by 1000 matrix, in the entire 1000 by 1000 matrix, only 100 pixels, 100 elements are non-zero elements, remaining are of zero elements. For this, what is the need of wasting that much memory is the question. So that is the reason why can't we convert into a why can't we reduce the size of this particular matrix so that we can have little memory so that we can get whatever the values we want and we can go for computation. This is what the basic idea of this sparse matrix. In the sparse matrix, we will be having more number of non-zero elements, so that why can't we convert into a linked list format so that the non-zero elements can be accessed easily. This is what the basic idea of this sparse matrix. This sparse matrix can be converted into a multi-list like this. For example, 1 is the row in which 3 is the column. In the first row, third column, 2 is the value, which is non-zero element. In the first row, fifth column, 3 is the value, which is non-zero element. Remaining are of zero elements. So that is the reason we can ignore those things and we can only simply go for structuring like this, so that if you know the first row, then you can traverse the list. Third column, first row, third column, value is 2. First row, fifth column, value is 3. Next, second row, third column, value is 4. Next is third row, there is no column with the non-zero element. Fourth row, second column, value is 1. Fourth row, third column, value is 5. Fifth row, fifth column, then value is 4. That means except these row and column values, remaining are all row and column values in the matrix are zeros. So thereby you can avoid allocating more memory for unnecessary data which is not required for our computation. So that is the reason this is the best way of representing sparse matrix in terms of multi-lists. So hash include std.h, hash include stdlib.h. We'll see the multi-list implementation now. In the multi-list implementation, we need to have a row structure for holding the row values and a column structure for holding the list. So the reason stdlib.h I have included for the memory methods, that is malloc, calloc, realloc, and free. Without this also you can do this, or these functions are directly available in std.h also. So struct row node or node. So in this row node, int row, actually row node is for the row allocation. Column type struct c node, column node. Here int column value, int the value that you want to represent, that is non-zero element. And since the column type, that is in the column section, we are going to use the single linked list concept. So we need to use a self-referential structure so that you can add this to the, you can add a node in a list format. So now the row node is like this, int row, then struct c node, column node, because from the row we are going to point to the single linked list. Row node next. So these two are the structures which are required for our multi-list implementation. Now we need to have struct r node, like head I am going to use list. Okay, so initially this list is initialized to null. Now we need to have helper functions to manage R node and at the same time to manage the C node also. Okay. I'm going to use the helper functions like this. Int is empty. Is empty means the entire list is empty. Next, we need to have the helper function like a creating of a node. Okay, and we need to have the creation of we need to have the helper function for creating of column nodes and at the same time row nodes also. So first, currently what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement the isEmpty function. It will check whether the list is empty or not. When can you say list is empty? When the list is equal to null, then you can say list is empty. So the reason 1 0, right? Now for our convenience, I'm going to use one matrix image. While declaring multiple two-dimensional matrix, no need to write the row size, but you can give the column size. You are supposed to give the column size. Otherwise, the compiler will not get the value of what is the size of the matrix. Okay. So now I'm going to declare an array here. The array is like this. Here 10 by 10 matrix it is 1 0 0 0 0, that is 5 elements here up to here 0 comma 0 comma 0 comma 0 0. So total 10 elements are there 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, 10 elements are there. Now what I am doing is I am going to create 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So 10 by 10, this is the matrix. Now randomly I am placing some 1 here. I'm placing 0 here. I'm placing some here randomly. I'm assigning some value here. So it is a like an image, right? I assume that it is an image in which non-zero elements represents some black color and zero elements represents white color. Okay, assume like that 0. Somewhere I'm assigning 0. Okay. So this is a sparse matrix. Sparse means the non-zero elements are more. Sorry, zero elements are more. Non-zero elements are very few. Okay. Now I'm writing a main method. So this in order to know, because my program should function or my program should run irrespective of the number of rows and columns. Dynamically, it has to take the number of rows and columns. So the reason what I'm doing is int rows is equal to how we will identify that how many number of rows are there in the array. So that you can do it via size of image, that is a matrix name, size of image by size of image of 0. Thereby it will give you number of rows. Int columns is equal to size of image of 0 by size of image of 0 0. That is the first row element. Thereby it will give you matrix size, that is dimensions, number of rows and number of columns. Matrix size percentage d is rows comma columns. Now I will run the code so that so the matrix size is 10 by 10. That means number of rows are 10 and number of columns are 10. So now we got the number of rows and number of columns. Now we need to create the list. Okay, we need to create the list of how much size? Of size 10. Okay, so for int I is equal to 0, I less than 10, not 10 rows. How many rows are there? That many rows. I plus plus. Okay, we need to create that many things. So in dynamic, because we need to create this in dynamically, because simple array of pointers cannot be used, but however we need to create the memory in a dynamic fashion. So that the reason previously in single linked list concept we have seen malloc. Malloc is a function which will dynamically create the memory. That memory creation is in the hollow memory. That means there is no particular slots will be allotted for the malloc. But there is another memory kind called calloc. That calloc function will give us the continuous memory allocation of a particular size. So the reason what I am going to do is create a memory of row size locations. So for that, list is equal to, list is of type struct row node or node star. calloc, how many number of rows we require? Rows, comma, size of struct r node. That many continuous memory allocations will be allocated to this list. What is this list? List is r node. Okay, this many continuous allocations will be formed. Once the continuous allocations were formed, we need to enter the values for this. So the reason list of I dot row is equal to I. That means this slot, that means here, if you look at, I want to name this. Here it is 1 in case of uh, so in case of this, here it is 1 is there, but I want to mention it as row number, that is 0, and I want to make the slots like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to 9. Then for every slot there will be a list. So in order to view this, we have to make it as we have to make the things like this. We have to make an array which is of 0 to 9, and we have to initialize the values for in this particular array. So for this, list of row is equal to I, and list of I dot next. Next means C node, that is column node, is null. Initially I am assigning all pointers as null, because depending upon whether the non-zero element exists or not, based on that we have to allocate the we have to create the list. Okay, so now it is over. The creation of this particular memory or initialization is over. So what I can do is I can also include it in function also. Instead of making here, I can also make a function void init rows. So init r node or init r node list. So I can make a function like this, and I can include these two statements in this. And since I have defined here, I have to declare this void init r node list. Now simply you call this function here, init r node list. So list will be created. Whether we got the output or not, we'll see. List is equal to struct r node star calloc of rows. So we didn't get the rows here. Int rows. Yeah, since we have included in this, so obviously obviously we are not directly using the function variables which are there in the main memory, sorry, main function. So the reason we have to keep here into star rows. So here it is int. Now we need to pass the parameter rows. Okay. So the program was successfully executed. So that means there is no error so far in the function. Now the row initialization is over. Once the row initialization is over, we need to create a, we need to read the matrix and we need to create the list. So we need to create, read the matrix and create the list. So for this, what I am doing is I am taking the help of single linked list. That is here only function available to insert the node as a list is inserting at end. So the reason in single linked list, what I am doing is I am taking the help of inserting a node at the end. So I am copying as it is the function insert a node at end. The same function I am taking here. I am copying here and going to the DLL, not DLL, sorry, MLL. In this, I'm using this insert node at end. So insert node at end. But for insertion, we need to have the C node. We need to have C node, column, and value. These three values we require. So that reason, insert at end struct C node, star C node, comma int column, int value. So this is the thing we have used here, and here void insert at end struct C node star. Why I am using star here? Int column, comma int value. So we have no need of declaring variable name. So I am using star here. The reason is, if you look at here, this so far what we have done is we have created the rows like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but its next is null. But what we are supposed to do is, what we are supposed to think of here is this particular slot itself is memory. But to this slot, again you are creating a new memory in a form of a single linked list. That is the reason the slot itself is memory, means one memory can be held by one pointer. But this entire list is a separate memory to be handled. So the reason this particular node should have another pointer to be taken care of, or another memory to be taken care of. That means here this particular slot itself is a single memory. So the reason it can be handled via single pointer. But whenever it is having a linked memory, that is the reason it has to hold with a double pointer, because two memories are there, because this itself is memory from the outside and it is having another memory here attached to this. So the reason two different memories are to be allotted, to be handled. That is the reason we must have a double pointer, then only we can create this particular list. Okay, for one memory holding, one star. For two memories holding, two stars must be placed. That is the reason struct C node star. Okay, one star can hold only one address. Two stars can hold two addresses. Right. So this is what called insert at end. These two have been included. Now we need to have this one struct C node start empty is equal to null. Is empty is representing, right? So this is what called insert at end. these two have been included. Now we need to have this one, struct C node star temp is equal to null. Is empty is representing R node, but we should check whether the C node is available or not. So the reason is C node empty is a function that I am going to define here. Int is C node empty. So when can you say that int C node is empty? Int C node empty. When can you say that is C node empty? When the C node initial value is null, then you can say that it is C node is empty. So struct C node star star C node. So you can say this is empty, return star C node equal to null, then return 1, otherwise return C. Now if not is C node empty, that means you have to pass C node here. You have to pass star C node because the memory should be allocated. Already memory is there. We need to create new memory and it should be allocated. That means already null is there. In the place of null, we need to create new memory. That is the reason null will be holded by one pointer. New memory will be created by holded by another pointer. That is another star. So temp is equal to star C node. While temp next not equal to null, temp is equal to temp next. So you keep on going this. Temp next is equal to create node. So here create node means we need to create a C node and we need to give this. So that is the reason we have to write a function struct C node star, okay, create C node, okay. In this we need to have two values. One is column value and another is value. So for this create a function. So struct C node star create C node int column comma int value. So we need to create a struct C node star temp is equal to null initially. So temp is equal to, we need to create a memory struct like single linked list, struct C node star malloc of size of struct C node. Then temp column is equal to column, temp val is equal to value, and temp next is equal to null and return temp. So it will create the node, because in C node we have column, value and next. So here create C node column comma value. That's all. The node will be created at the end. Now temp is equal to create C node column comma value. If there is no C node, then whatever the node that you create is the starting node. Now you have already passed this C node here. That means this C node is assigned to temp. Now temp is equal to create C node and head is equal to temp. Instead of head is equal to temp. Okay, I'm closing. When temp is equal to, then you have to make that C node is equal to temp. So now, so far, we'll see whether the program what we have written is correct or not. So far, whatever the program we have written is executed successfully. To verify whether the node is empty or not, here we have passed this star C node in the is C node empty or not. But actually, in is C node empty, we no need to hold this via double pointer. We can use single pointer itself. The reason is whether it is a double pointer or single pointer, the whenever the memory is null, the entire thing is null. So the reason we may also declare like this. Next, we'll move on to the inserting the nodes into the multi-list. So for this, we need to traverse the entire array, that is int I is equal to 0 and I less than rows I plus plus, for int j is equal to 0, j less than columns and j plus plus. Now, when we are supposed to insert into multi-list, if there is no non-negative element, I of j is not equal to 0. If there is exists non-zero element, then we need to insert at the end of. So which one you need to pass? Because this value has to be passed to the corresponding row. So the reason list of I dot next, comma, row is j, because the inner loop indicates the columns. The outer loop indicates the rows and inner loop indicates the columns. J indicates the column, and value. Value is image of I j. So which will give you the value of the array at a particular location I j. Now, see, whenever we send a list of I dot next, so here list itself is memory, and we need to create memory with the list of I dot next. So we are supposed to pass the memory here, but we need to attach the memory, our newly created memory, to list of I dot next. So that reason we need to pass the address of this. Since we are passing address, since list of I dot next itself is an address, the reason is in the C node, sorry, in the R node, struct C node star next itself is address. So for this, one star is enough. But to create new memory, we need to pass the address of this. Then only we can traverse and we can attach the memory. At the same time, we are going to attach the memory in insert at end only to the star C node, that is temp. Okay, star C node, that is temp. So whatever the newly created node is there, that is assigned to the temp next. Okay, but this entire list of I dot next address must be passed. Then only we will get this. Otherwise, if you without using ampersand, if you pass simply this, it will become only star. Star means it cannot be having it is not having the capability of holding the next address. So that reason we need to send via address of this. So since we are sending address of this, so it must be holded with a double pointer. This is what the reason behind why we have kept the double pointer in case of insertion. Please remember, double pointer is required only at the time of creating new memory. If you remove or if you traverse, okay, double pointer is not required. Single pointer is sufficient. So the insert at end, we have called the function. Now we'll run the function, we will run the program, and we'll see whether we get any error or not. No. So far we don't get any error. That means this way of checking whether the C node is empty or not is also correct. And this way of the function that what we have called is also correct. That means by this time the insertion will be done into the multi-list. But we have not written any function related to the displaying of the list. Now what we'll do is we'll write the display of the list. So void display of a list, that is struct r node, because r node star list. So we are not going to mention this r node star, and how many rows we need to print in number of rows. So here we'll write this void display of a struct r node star list comma int rows. So here struct r node star temp is equal to null. This is by default, we need to keep a temporary one. Or you may also traverse this, or you may no need to write it like this. But that means you may assign to this temp and you may traverse, or directly you may use it. For I is equal to for int I is equal to 0, I less than rows, I plus plus. Now this we need to print the value, printf percentage d. So we are going to print only the list value, list of I dot data. But we need to print the list also. Whatever the list is available, that list also we need to print. So for this display list of since we are trying to as list of I dot next. So here display list we didn't define. So let me declare one thing here, void display list of struct. We need to print the C node star. So let will define this. So display list void display list of struct C node star C node. Okay. Struct C node star temp is equal to null if not is empty, is not is list empty of C node. That means if C node is not empty, that means if the corresponding row don't have any node, then temp is equal to C node. Okay. While temp not equal to null, they should traverse printf. So printf here, what I will do is replace like this temp percentage d comma percentage d comma temp column comma temp var. Next we need to iterate this. So we need to iterate this temp is equal to temp next. If the list is empty, then else printf null. Then print So to have the formatting, backslash. Once the list printing is over, then go for backslash. So this is the display list. So whenever we call this, we have gone to this particular thing. Now let will go for calling of this display function, display of list of I, not list of I, simply list, okay, comma, display of list, comma, and rows, number of rows. So which will give you the entire list. Let will run the code and we'll see whether we get out. So here some problem we got. So here data, there is no data available with this. So struct R node has no member data. So instead of, we have written as a row. So is list empty? Do you have any problem with this? Undefined reference to is list empty. So is list empty? No, it is C node empty. Okay, is C node empty. Let will run this. Very good. Now we got the output here like this. 0, 0th row, 0th column, 1 is the element. First row, 0th column, 1 is the element. Second row, 0th column, 1 is the element. And second row, 4th column, 1 is the element. Next is the third row, don't have any non-zero elements, so it is null. Fourth row, 0 column, having 1 as the element. Sixth column is having 1 as the element. Fifth row, ninth column, 1 is the non-zero element. Next, sixth row, 0th column, 1. Seventh row, fifth column, non-zero element, 1. Eighth row, 0th column, 1. In ninth row, there is no non-zero element. So this is the way how the multi-list was formed. So this is the way how we can create the multi-list. And thereby, you may also write a deletion of a node from the multi-list, or you may insert the node at the beginning or insert the node at the position. So all these remaining other functions you can add by understanding this code. So this is for the sparse matrix and the multi-list. We'll meet with the another data structure in the next lecture.